I almost forgot. I did want to show you one last thing with this. For the apartment, this is currently an instance of the apartment. If you want to use it multiple times, it's usually recommended to make a prefab of this. So we've dragged this onto the scene here, and it's this apartment with these different meshes that are making it up. In the end, if you want a prefab, left click and drag from the hierarchy to the folders here, and then you're going to see it's going to make a box without that little piece of paper on it. So this is the original instance that we imported, this apartment. I did make a new folder called Mesh and put those in there. The reason I did that is I'm going to make a new folder called Materials here and put all the materials that we just made for this apartment in here. And so I'm going to grab the concrete block apartment material and bring that in here, just to keep it organized and be able to export it for you. But then when you do that, you also still have to bring the you got to bring the texture with it. So I got to copy that and bring it in as well. But you wouldn't have to do this unless you're exporting it for a friend. You'll see when you go to export this apartment, the package, it brings all the other materials. So what I got to do is just drag and drop them in here, so it's only exporting the apartment folder versus the V131 or the V12 packages. But in the end, I basically want you to create a prefab by dragging the instance from your scene down into a folder. And now when you plant your prefabs, you want to use just this one with the box. Alright, and then the only other thing you might want to do, depending on how your project runs, you may elect to turn shadows off. The way you would do that is you have to select all these meshes together. And so that's left click to select them all with the mouse and holding shift, and you could turn the shadows off. I think since they're combined, the number of draw calls is not going to be too bad, and or the number of shadow casters is not too bad. I think that you could get away with leaving some shadowing on with these. You just have to see if it chugs. You could elect to individually click off some things. You know, maybe you want the balcony to cast shadow, but you know, maybe you don't want the roof to cast a shadow. You could do it individually, and that doesn't take away too much by just taking the roof shadowing off. You know, you'll just have to experiment with that a little bit.